Hi guys, this is Chip and Guardian's Adventures. So today we're doing a mukbang. We've got a kebab and chips. And Guardian's got his kebab, haven't you, Guardian? And he's sitting here patiently waiting for his. His kebab is a bit different. It's got no onions, no nothing. That's the dogs are allergic to. So let's have a look at this. Oh look, this is the salad. Can you see it? So if I tip it upside down, you can see that bit as well. Okay, so there's the salad. So let's put that nice for you like that. It's okay, I've got yours here, don't worry. Okay, so we've had right, this is my kebab meat and chips. So just put that to one side for a second. Because I don't want it to go cold, because you know how quick and cold these are. This is a pita bread, that's gluten and wheat free pita bread, and this is Guardian's, and this is Guardian's doner. We don't have takeaways very often because we have to get them specially made. So this is Guardian's doner kebab. So let's just put some to cool it down because it's a bit hot. There we go. It is very hot, so we've got to be very careful that we don't burn his little mouth. But see this kebab, look how juicy it is. See that? It's juicy but not greasy. And this is the best kebab shop in Lincolnshire, I think. Right, so we've got to cool it down for Guardian. So I'm just making sure he's eating it. Well, here you go. He likes it on the paper for some unknown reason. Anyway, he's going to see what I eat first and then it'll come up. So I've got the bread separate so I can put as much as I need in. A trick is never ever reheat doner meat. Don't do it. Do not do it. There's a few bit of that's a first. Okay, a few bit burnt chips. Can you see? I don't do burnt chips at all. Right. Okay. Oh, the kebab meat is beautiful. Yeah. Now our cousins in America, unfortunately, they're only just starting to get a bit of kebab shops. They call it kebab, and it's so funny. It's kind of cute actually, to be fair. And they call it German as well. So that's between the Germans and the Turks and the Kurdish. Right, so let's just put that there like that, so I can put the onions like this, because I have a lot of stomach problems at the minute. That has been investigated. Onions kick off, but red onions sometimes okay, but it's best not to have onions, to be fair, at all. So you can't beat a good kebab, can you? They say it's good for junk food, but I have to take their word for it because I'm hypoglycemic. So number one, I can't get drunk, and number two, I just don't drink. So, it's so fresh. I mean, look how the lettuce is. It's beautifully clean. It's crispy. Fresh. It's not that, you know, when you get some of them and it tastes like old people's homes and overcooked and over washed, and this is perfect. The chips are good. Cooked, soft and fluffy. Can you see? Soft and fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside. How chips should be. So anyway, what we're going to talk about today is mukbangers and what's been happening in their lives. A lot of people want me to do reaction videos. Now, everyone knows I'm autistic with learning difficulties, so sometimes I don't understand things. So I had to look it up. And I found a few reaction videos, and they're quite good, to be fair. Oh, you finished yours? Okay, hold on. Excuse me a minute, guys. Here you go, Baba. Right, so, you got a reaction video. Right, Alex is shocked, stuff like that. You got gold, someone gold. There's quite a lot out there, to be fair. So it's like, why would people want to know what I think about these mukbangers? Who am I to judge what they do and say? So a lot of my subscribers said, it's not that you're judging them or you're better than they are. It's when they put content out, you can talk about it and talk about what you think about it and what you feel about what they do. So like, yeah, but who am I to judge? It's their content, their channel. If they want to put on whatever they want, that's their channel. But apparently, oh, garnish finished. You're eating a bit fast, my boy. Here you go. Apparently, a lot of people said that a lot of people get hurt by these YouTubers. I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, they get hurt because they either tell lies, they act instead of being truthful. See, I always thought YouTube was about being honest and just straightforward and showing people the real you. That's what I thought YouTube was. Because if I wanted to watch a play or acting or something like that, to be honest, I'd go see a professional play or I'd watch a movie. God, boy, you're eating fast. Slow down. There you go. So, I was a bit upset by it. And they were saying, no, sometimes they lie. They pretend. They say things that aren't real, like the fights and that. So they said, watch Nick Avocado. So we did. Talk about abuse. Then I realised, and the reason why they told me to do Nick Avocado was because of my background, my childhood, of my parents attacking each other, beating each other, so it triggered me badly. And I thought it was real. But then he started confusing me because he was looking for Orland. Next minute, he's doing a mukbang with Orland. Next minute, Orland's doing a mukbang in his house. Then he was still looking for Orland. I'm like, what the bloody hell is going on here? Right? So I watched Anberlin read. I also watched Foodie Beauty. And yeah, I've got a few things to say about these three. Now, Anberlin keeps saying to people the reason why you haven't got me is because I'm fat. But yeah, I looked on Hungry Fat Chicks. He collaborated with Nick. And I looked up Hungry Fat Chick, right? And she isn't like that. She eats, she talks about stuff she's done. She didn't even told us about her childhood. She's not lying or acting, or she's just, here I am. This is what it is. And a lot of people like her. I like her. She's not acting. She's not pretending. She's not faking. And I think that's what's pissing a lot of people off. Is if you wanted to watch acting or something, you would go and watch it. You wouldn't want. You want real life, real people, real stories, real. So it gets frustrating when they lie to you, and then they laugh at you. Nick Ricardo's good on that, laughing at you because, oh, you stupid or dumb or something, he's just acting. Yeah, well, I'm autistic with learning difficulties, and a lot of us don't understand things like that. And you're making it harder for us, and then calling us names like stupid, dumb, unintelligent. And that's not fair. Just because we don't understand when you're acting or telling the truth doesn't mean you're a good actor. It means that we don't understand things. It doesn't make us dumb or stupid. And it's wrong for him to say that about us. Very wrong. So, yeah. So, first we're going to do Anberlin. Because she's the boring one out of all the others. And I don't mean boring because of her life. I mean, she tries to troll, she tries to act, she tries to do stuff, and she's really bad at it. If she told the truth, see, people are saying, I ask people like, why don't you like her? And it's like, oh, she says she's going to do something and doesn't do it. She does this, she does that. But I looked into it and I realised that not many people give a shit whether she fails or not fail on a diet. Everyone knows that diets come and go, and we get bored with it, and 2-3 days you're going to change. We're all human. We all think that way. And most people do the diet. They're not disappointed in her doing that. They're disappointed in her. So I'm going to give her 4 tips. See if she listens to it and tries it out. And now I'm not a dietitian. There's a disclaimer for you. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not nothing else. I have food problems because of pain and stuff like that. At the minute I'm taking severe painkillers and stuff so I can eat, because eating survival. So I have no dietary, I'm not registered in anything. You should go speak to your doctor, dietitian, or someone specialist. I'm none of them. So here we go, right? Number 1. I think if Anberlin wants to lose weight, the first thing she should do is stop calling it a diet. The second thing is stop spending loads of money on Weight Watchers, on all your diet food. Stop it. Because a lot of people are hardworking, and when they support you to diet, you're eating a diet food and normal food as well. So they're feeling they're giving you more opportunity to eat more than you should be eating, and that's why you're putting on weight. Number 3, if you order in 5 times a week, order in what you normally order in. And I don't mean this fake stuff that you're putting on there when you're ordering broccoli and rice and stuff like that, because we all know there's burgers and chips and that waiting for you after you've done the mukbang. And there's evidence of that. But if you just eat normally, eat 3 square meals a day plus snacks, little snacks, and just don't calculate what you're eating or anything like that. Just eat normally and move a little bit more. If you're ordering a 12-inch pizza and you're ordering chips and you're ordering this, that and the other, just take one thing off the menu and order a smaller portion. And don't have anything in the house apart from fruit, vegetables, dips, stuff that are healthy. None of these light and sugar-free stuff, because it's not true. It's full of crap. And just relax. When you're hungry, eat. When you're not hungry, don't eat. Three, stop depending on other people. That's a big thing. Get a bike and go and get your takeaways with your bike. Learn to ride, and even if it's a 3-wheeler, it doesn't matter. You can find a bike your size, a seat your size, and even if you have to custom build it, you get enough money, custom build one. In relationships, that's one thing I do know about. And I tell you something, I also know how it feels to look after someone who's sick and who's ill. And I also know how to look after someone who makes themselves sick and ill. Right? Becky's saying it's her fault. She's a neighbour, whatever. No, it's not. It's nobody's fault but the fault of the person that puts this and this and that. It's that simple. It's attitude as well. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to miss out because I'm losing takeaways, I'm losing this. Stop it. It's like cigarettes. When people stop smoking, they say, I'm giving up. No, you're not. You're just doing what's natural. We weren't born with a cigarette in our mouths. So therefore, stopping it, you're not losing anything. When you started smoking, you gained addiction, you gained ill health, you gained a lot of stuff. Now I'm a smoker, so I know what I'm talking about. You gained a lot of stuff, so you're not losing anything. You're changing. Same as your food and any addiction, you're changing. If you're going to start a relationship with someone, stop going for people who have addictions the same as you. That's why they're not lasting. Right? For 3 reasons. All your partners, Anberlin, are overweight, drive a car, have an addiction of some sort. Right? So, this is what you were looking for, so people can enable you to stay big. Because if you went out with someone like my weight, or someone that is thinner than me, we couldn't eat as much as you, and we don't order. I order once a month in. If you look at the last takeaway I ordered in was over 4 months ago. And my mum brought me this because I haven't eaten for days. So, not because I have a food disorder, it's because I've had the AstraZeneca and I feel ill. So when I can eat, I try to eat high calories as much as I can because I lose weight really quick. So, if Anberlin went out with someone like me, who hardly eats, who doesn't have food as its main goal in life and its big thing of food, she won't go for you. It seems to be you have to drive a car, you have to be overweight, and you have to be addicted to food. That's her ideal partner. However, within 4 years, she's always splitting up. They're always splitting up, and it's never Anberlin who splits up with them. It's always them splits up with it. Do you want to know why? In the psychological thing, I've been watching it. I watched all her past ones with all her past girlfriends in, like Destiny and all them, right? And when they first start dating with Anberlin, they don't realise how much hard work it's going to be. They assume that all they're going to do is sit there all day, eat and watch movies and go out. But they won't realise that Anberlin won't want to do stuff like that. If she goes to a restaurant, she'll want to eat and then come straight back. And they want to go out and go travelling, and Anberlin can't travel like that. She'll end up blood clots and stuff. Anberlin, let's be truthful with your viewers, yeah? You're not scared of illness at all. You're not. So stop going on about catching COVID, that you're scared of having a heart attack catching COVID. It's not true. And I'll tell you why. I've been under counselling for about 6 years now. I have had a fear of food. I still got it. And some days it's worse than others. As soon as I get pain from food, my body thinks food's dangerous and I start to shake and pass out. And some days I won't eat for like a week or two, and then I pass out because my blood sugar drops and stuff like that. Right? So to stop for my brain to stop me hurting, it says food hurts you, and it's miscommunicating. So when I go near food, if I'm cooking it or anything, I start to shake. Or if I go to the shops, and then if I keep pushing my body past the point of what it wants, it'll make me pass out. Now we're working on it, but they've never seen this severe before. People who are scared of like getting fat, because all the problems that come with it, they starve themselves practically into anorexia and bulimia and nervosis, and in the end some of them unfortunately die because the fear is so strong. So when Anberlin sits there and says, I'm scared of having a heart attack, I'm scared of pain, I'm scared of illness, I'm scared of catching COVID because I know I'm going to die because of my weight, it's a crock. Because if you were scared you would not make yourself that way. Your brain wouldn't allow it. The only reason why people put weight on, and the only reason why they diet, the only fault is our behaviour with food is what makes food bad. There is no food bad out there, bad food for your health, none. It's how we use the food and our behaviour with the food that makes it dangerous and bad, right? So, when Anberlin sits there telling everyone I'm scared of catching COVID, that's why I don't go out, it's all excuses. Because if you were so scared of being ill and dying, then you wouldn't be this weight, knowing the fact that one night you can go to bed and not wake up. You wouldn't. And even if you wanted to, you wouldn't be able to. I've been so starving. I starved myself for like 4 weeks. I was so starving. I had stomach pain, but it was nowhere near the stomach pain I get when I eat. So I was shaking. I was ill. And no matter what I tried to do, I could not eat. I got my favourite kebab, salads, fish, anything I possibly could think of, like bread being cooked in the morning, fresh bread, because you know how that makes you bready. Fish and chips, because the smell of fish and chips, nothing. The more I smelt food, the more I looked at food, the more I sweated, the more I shake. It got really bad. And no matter how hungry I was, I knew I was going to die. But it just wouldn't let me. Because I had negative thoughts about food. Just like people, you imagine you're sitting there and you're going, take this, right? So you imagine you sit there and you go, oh, this gives me so much pleasure. Oh, it's like juicy and beautiful, and it hits the spot, and the flavour and the taste, and your brain's not going to understand whether that's real what you're feeling or fake. It just knows it makes you happy because of all the pheromones that go off with the taste buds. And so then when you say, have one of these, like a lettuce, and you go, it's a lettuce. Yep, it's a tomato. Whoa, look at this. Crispy, soft, fluffy, hard on the outside. The grease, see what I'm saying? Your brain's gonna go, salad doesn't do nothing for us. Doesn't make us feel good. Doesn't satisfy us. It's no good. We don't like that. But we do like all this food. So then your brain goes, come on. You know this food that you want. So you're eating, say, healthy food, as you call it healthy. I don't. Any food's healthy because it all keeps you alive. Like I said, it's just your behaviour towards food is how, what your body becomes is what your behaviour is with the food. So, you're eating an apple, and it's like, and then you see an advertisement of a chocolate bar, and it's like you're salivating, and you're like, I remember when I had that, and it was like satisfying, and you're eating the apple, it goes, right, apple bad, chocolate, this is what we need to do. So it goes back in its mind and finds it and sends signals, this is what you want, this is what you want, you really want it, until the cravings come so bad that you eat it. But if you started saying, oh, this lettuce is soft and beautiful, and it's healthy, and it's got vitamins and minerals, and the flavour and the crispiness, it tastes like spring, and you start making that taste like that. So that's lettuce, tastes like this, and tastes like this. You won't crave it anymore because your brain will go, oh, you like that? You can have more of that then. You see what I'm saying? So if Anberlin wants a long-term relationship, not for 4 years, but actually wants to find a partner, settle down for good, and have a partner stick with her, she has to stop going for people with any kind of addiction, but especially food addiction. And I don't mean go for people who are skinnier or whatever. I'm not talking about weight here. I'm talking about behaviour and thought process to food. Because I tell you why, right? The reason why Becky's leaving is because when Becky's mum was sick and she needed somebody there, Anberlin used every excuse in the sun not to be there with her, i.e. there wasn't enough room in the car, but you sit in the front. You fit 5 people in the car, and if you sit in the front, then it still leaves 4, the driver and 3 others in the back. Number 2, it was a long drive. Yeah, but you can stop, get out, and do some exercise. Oh, forgot you don't do exercise, right? So, Becky went through this alone. So then when Becky, unfortunately, her mum's died, which, Becky, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Just feel lucky that you had a mum in your life. And remember the good times and what she taught you. And make her proud. But Becky can't share things with Anberlin like, did you see me mum's last words? Did you hear me mum? Did you see her? Did you see how sick she was? Did you see how brave? Nothing, right? When you're losing someone, you want someone there to sort of take the reign, take the pressure so you can grieve, so you can feel safe with that person. But unfortunately, Anberlin wasn't there through the last weeks of her mum's. Becky went to the hotel on her own. Everyone else had their partners there. Becky didn't. And I think this was the last straw. Because I have no doubt that Anberlin would have turned around, phoned her up and say, oh, I've got to walk the dog, I've got to feed the dog, I should have got someone in, and when you're coming back, I need help, I fell over. So not only has Becky got to think about her mum here and the last days and her family, but she's also got to think, I've got to get back to Anberlin on top and feed the dogs and take the dog for a walk and the cats, and she needs to go shopping, and so she doesn't even have time to spend with her family as long as she needs, because Anberlin can't. So Becky's trying really hard to be nice about this, but if you look at Becky's eyes, she is so much in grief, so much hurting, because Anberlin wasn't there for her. Wouldn't get off her arse and come to the hospital with her. And Becky can say, no, that's not true. Yes, it is. Because if you really loved someone, I'm not being funny, but if Becky really loved Anberlin, and anyone who's been in abusive relationships, anyone who's been in relationships where it's all one-sided would know this, that no matter what they do to you, you can't leave them because you love them so much. And if she really, really loved Anberlin, she says, oh, we need to be separate because I'm an enabler and you're an enabler. No, it's not true. If you really loved someone, you would want them to get healthy. You would be scared that they would die. And you would say to them, listen here, you weren't there for when my mum died because your weight. We can't do stuff because of your weight. So I'm giving you 6 months. If you, and I will help you as best I can, but if I catch you slipping food in, eating, ordering food out, anything else but following the diet, it's over. But Becky won't, because Becky's very selfish. And she has to be selfish because of her weight. Because if she wasn't, she wouldn't put that kind of weight on in the first place. Especially when you've got animals and you have to walk animals and that. You can't be that kind of weight, right? And you could die. And then where's the animals going to be? Left alone for days. So this is what I'm saying to you guys, right? Becky has either got someone else, or is interested in someone else, or someone else is interested in Becky and they're talking. And Becky feels, because she's doing everything, if she was doing everything for Anberlin, she would lose weight. It could be a few pounds, but if she was really cleaning every time and deep cleaning the house, going to work, walking around, taking the dogs for a walk, keep cleaning the house, laundry and all that lot, cooking and everything else, if she was really doing that, she would lose weight. So I think it's a bit of a myth that everyone's saying Becky's doing everything. I think Becky is the one driving around because she's got a driver's license, and maybe Becky's the one that goes and picks up the food for her, and she feels, well, I'm doing all the picking up of the food and blah blah blah. But I'm not surprised that Becky would go pick up the food, because then she could sneakily eat part of the takeaway and not tell Amber that she brought that takeaway. So it works out for her. So if Becky's on a diet, Becky will say, oh, don't worry, I'll get your takeaway. No, we'll get it from Uber. No, don't worry. I'll go down and get it. I need to get a drink anyway. Because Becky knows if she's on a diet and Anberlin calls it in, then Anberlin will eat whatever's there and she won't have any left. So she wants to go out and she'll sneak and eat. And then she'll come back and say, there you go, that's all for you. I know, because I know these kind of people that do addiction for food. I know what they do. So Anberlin needs someone who's strong, who does love her for real, and who's willing to go through hell and back again to support her. That's my opinions, my thoughts. So let's leave Anberlin and let's scoot over to Foodie Beauty. Oh, Foodie Beauty. Oh, Foodie Beauty. I have severe allergies. I've got bronchial asthma. Listen. I have severe hay fever and allergies, including dog fur. And Guardian's shredding at the minute. Listen. Now, when Foodie Beauty saying she had allergies and kept blowing her nose and that, and I was saying, you're snorting something. You're irritating your sinuses. And when she starts going, it means her mucus glands, it's fallen behind and her mucus glands are swelling. And we all know that sherbet does that. And a lot of her patrons and her fans and that were saying to her, you've got to stop doing it. She says, I've only done it once. Look how swollen these are. No, you've not only done it once. It will go, oh, you can't get addicted. Yes, you can. I'll defend her on that. You can take one bit of sherbet, Just one line of sherbet and you will be addicted to it. Some people are, especially when you've got an addiction already. An addictive personality, you should stay away from anything that could be addicted. Gambling, sherbet, anything like that, right? Then she says, when I say, you lied to us and we're worried about you. Look. Don't. She's a full grown ass woman. She's saying that she's addicted to it. And she's going to seek help. Okay? Okay. If that was true, and you did go and seek help like you said you did, the first thing they would say is, stop using your gummy bears, let's just call them that, yeah? Your edibles, because all you're doing is masking the addiction to another addiction, and then you're going to be addicted to that. Now people say, oh, you can't get addicted to edibles. Yes you can. Yes you can. You can get addicted to anything if you've got an addictive nature. How do you know you've got an addictive nature? Step on the scales, Foodie Beauty. There's your addicted nature. Whether it's food, alcohol or anything else, if you can't control, all these years you haven't been able to control your addiction to food, how the heck do you think that you're going to be able to control sherbet, which is the strongest addiction and it ruins most people's lives? Why would you in your head, you're an intelligent woman, why would you in your head really believe that doing one line of sherbet wouldn't have done anything for you? When you're fully an addictive personality. Look at that, right? Pete, right? I think Pete's got autism. And some learning difficulties, I really do. And I think Foodie Beauty's addicted to Pete, to having him there. I really do, because she keeps saying, oh, we need to separate and stuff, but she only says that when she's got partners. What if I want to bring a bloke back? Well, then you tell Pete to go to his mum's or something for the day, or the night, or whenever. But it's a crock, guys. It's a crock. It really is. I managed to eat a little bit more than I would normally. Guardian's eating quite a lot, which is good. Are you done, Guardian? Want these last bits? There you go, Baba. The only thing about kebab is they go cold really quick. Kebab meat and chips. Even the salad goes colder. Joke. Right. So Foodie Beauty says, who wants to take things and be addicted? It's not my fault I'm addicted. Yes, it is your fault. You took it. You have an addicted nature. She turns around and she goes, it's not my fault I'm addicted. Who wants to be addicted? Then let me ask you a question. Before you take sherbet, being intelligent as you are, you would have turned around and said, I'm going to find out about this first, just to make sure that I can't get addicted. Because I'm struggling with eating as it is, because I'm addicted to food. So could one line of sherbet, 2 lines of sherbet, could I do it like most people have recreational and just do it on weekends? Like some people can have ounces of it, lines of sherbet, and on a weekend and through the week, nothing. and just have it weekends. Eventually they will be addicted, but because of their nature not being addicted, it's harder for them to get addicted. And she should look into it. But I think she did this to pleasure the bloke. And I think what's happened here is now he's left, it's sort of like, oh crap. Because in her mind she was doing this for him. Oh, I'll do a couple of sherbet lines and I'll have a couple of sherbets, it'll be fine, no problem. And then I can control it, no problem. And then when he left, she thought, sod you, and then next minute she starts with the shakes and stuff like that. But everyone knows if you have a very addictive nature, anything that's addictive, anything, from alcohol to cigarettes to anything, you'll get addicted. So say exercise, if you start exercising and it gets easier and better, it makes you feel good eventually. And then once you start feeling good, you can't stop, and that's when it becomes addictive. So even if you're at the weight Foodie Beauty is, and she starts to lose the weight and she goes to the gym, she's got a high risk chance of actually going the opposite way and ending up seriously doing some damage, because she'll end up going to the gym all the time, feeling that addiction, and then getting that kind of addiction. So the first thing you've got to sort out is your addictive personality. That's the big thing, is your personality. Your addictive personality. Once that's sorted out, then you can recognise your addictive personality and what your triggers are. And how far you go before you push your body and your mind before you get addicted. That's my advice to Foodie Beauty too. My advice to Foodie Beauty is stop telling people every aspect of your life. If you don't want them to talk about it, if you don't want them to do videos about it, and if you don't want, which you do, that's why you do it. But remember this, what you keep private is private. Whatever you share on this platform or any platform, you're asking people and inviting people in and asking people their opinions. And even me, I can't read, so my care workers won't tell me all the bad opinions and stuff. I'm sure I've got some, and some so-called haters and whatever they call them. But at them ranters or whatever they call them. But at the end of the day, I'll never know, because I can't read. Right? I'm word and blind because of my medical conditions. Not blind as in blind. I can see, as in the brain doesn't see the numbers and letters. Right? So if you don't want people to know you have an addiction, then don't tell them. And if they assume you've got one, and you say, look, it's hay fever, and they say, no, it's not, I know an addiction, you say, look, it's private. And it doesn't matter what you say, you assume all you like. But I'm not interested in talking about that. So if you don't talk about your addictions, you don't talk about your boyfriends, you don't talk about your dating thing, you don't talk about your weight and your food and all this lot, then really, who are you? What are you going to do on your channel? What content are you going to put out? You don't play games. So what do you do? What are you going to do? The whole point of you is food, is your diet, is your boyfriends, is your train wreck. But you're putting it out there. So expect the backlash. But when you block your mods, when they're telling you, I wouldn't say this, I wouldn't do this, a lot of them warned you, don't talk about your private life. Keep that separate. Talk about your weight loss and food and your struggles, but don't talk about your private life. Don't talk about what you've done. Don't talk about what you're doing. Don't talk about anything to do with your boyfriend or your sherbet habit or anything like that. Get that sorted privately. Don't talk about how clean or dirty your house is. Don't talk about how many times a day you bath or wash. Or you're going to get criticism. And she goes, that's it. You're haters. Boom. Blocks the moderators. And that's what a moderator's there for. It's to moderate your channel and help you if you're about to do something really bad. I can't wait till I get my moderators and also get someone to help me with my videos and stuff. Because it's a bit complicated for me to download these. It gets a bit rough. I'd like to do a lot of stuff. I've got so many ideas, but I don't know how to put it in. So I need a producer who's going to be able to do that for me. But the ideas I've got are fantastic. But again, I won't say them because then people will steal them and then I'll be in uproar and I've got no right to be. So for Foodie Beauty, I'm sorry, but you need to pull away from talking about anything like that. Stick to your food channel. Stick to your... if you're going to talk about your private life, then expect people, including your mods, to have an opinion and to talk to you. Some of them do really care, but caring, it's cruel to be kind. And sometimes people are there to say, buck up, stop doing that, this is ridiculous. And if you don't like that, tough. Sometimes the truth is hard to hear. As for Anberlin, stop going for people who are addictive to the foods as you are. You're depending on people way too much. And also you're blaming everyone else. And you're not going to last more than 4 years to any relationship. Because you're going to drain them. And they've got addictions to food. They want to lose weight. So they're going to do exactly the same as you're doing to them. They're going to blame you for everything. Just like you're blaming them. It's your fault I'm fat. It's your fault because you're doing everything. It's your fault because this. And then in the end they go, it's best if we split up. I mean, to be fair, Becky, I'm not being funny, but no, you don't love her. Because if you love her, she would have, in those 4 years, she would have lost weight. So you don't love her. And I don't care what you say. You don't love her. 2, if you loved her that much, no matter what she'd done, you would make it work. You would, it'd be in this relationship, you would say, I want to marry you, but I'm not marrying you till you lose stones of weight. Why split up with her? Why not say that? Look, I'm leaving until I see you changing your habit and your weight habit, and then I'll come back if you want me still. But I want to get married on this date to you. But if you don't lose this weight, then we can't go on together. You've got a year. And in that year, I'm going to go and concentrate on myself, move out, live with someone else. But I'm still going to be with you. You're still going to be my partner and we'll still talk and chat. But we're not going to do nothing until you start losing weight. And I'm not going to be here for you until you start losing weight and stuff. And in a year, if you lose this amount of weight, in a year we get married. And then I'll move back in. That's love. Not, I'm leaving you because we have to work on ourselves. We're both as bad as each other. We don't love each other, blah, blah, blah. No. If you love someone, you can't be apart from them. My wife has passed away. And I haven't dated anyone. And I don't see myself doing that because I still love my wife. And I went through hell with her at stages. She went through a lot of suicide attempts and everything before I met her, and then afterwards. It took a long time. But I stuck by her. Because I love her. And because she's passed. I miss her like crazy still to this day. So that's what love's about, mate. In the end, I had to do everything for years. Painting, decorating, cleaning, cooking, bathing her, cleaning the house, everything, taking the kids to school, ironing, kids' uniforms, everything. I was exhausted. I'd had 2 hours sleep until I collapsed. And I still got up and still was doing stuff. Because that's what you do when you love someone, right? You don't say to them, it's best if I leave you in the shit. No, you give them that opportunity. And as for Nicocardo Avocado, you haven't seen a train wreck. Keep watching this space with Nicocardo Avocado and with Orland. They're so delusional. Out of all of them, they're the biggest delusionists. They really believe that they're going to lose all that weight. They really believe it. They really believe that they've got control over this. They really believe that they're not addicted to that food and that they can go back to eating vegan food or going back to eating a plant-based diet. So out of all of them, the delusional one is Nicocardo and his husband, Orland. And I tell you why. Orland loves fruit and veg, right? And yet, all the way through this, Orland's tried to lose weight and he can't, and he keeps blaming Nick. But it's him that's putting it in his mouth, not Nick. But surely, if you can control yourself, then it doesn't matter what Nick puts in his mouth. It doesn't matter what smells come in your house. If you really wanted to lose the weight and you really wasn't addicted, then you could walk past the pizzas and say, I'm not eating that. If you buy that food, it goes to waste. It goes in the bin. I'm not eating it. I'm sticking to my diet and losing weight. And why is it that Orland was thin when Nick was thin? And when Nick started the mukbangs, remember this was Nick starting this, not Orland. Nick. So how come Orland got fat? If you look at all Orland's mukbangs, it's nothing like what Nick is eating. Yeah, how come Orland's got just as fat as Nick? If Orland's all he's eating is fruit and vegetables and stuff, he should have well lost the weight by now. But he hasn't. He's actually put it on. So they're the delusionists out of all of them. Nick thinks he's smart. I'm smart. If you were really that smart, you wouldn't have fucked up your body the way you did. You would have slowly gone on to meats and that, yeah. But then again, if you were that smart, you would have got veganism. You would have been able to have a plant-based diet and being able to figure out that you could have proteins and everything and you were undernourished because, and losing your hair and that, because you didn't find plants that, and you didn't eat enough of a certain vitamin. And all plant bases, anyone can live off any diet, whether it's vegan to meat eaters. In moderation, you can live on anything. No food is bad food. A cake is not a bad cake. A chocolate cake is not bad if you have it in moderation. Like I said, Nick thinks this time next year he's going to stop mukbanging, which he said 3 times already. And he thinks he's going to be able to lose all that weight and get merchandise and show people how thin he's going to get and healthy he's going to get. He's going to come up against a lot of things because he's been too long at this weight. Remember, being skinny, you can slowly put weight on and feel healthy, but being overweight is an addiction. And his addiction is to salt and GMs and cheese and whatnot. So there's a lot of addiction there. And it's not once a week or once a day. It's twice, sometimes 3 times a day he's eating takeaway foods. And yes, he is taking vitamins, and yes, he is eating fruit and veg for the fibre and whatnot, but that's nothing because it's counteracted by all the crap. And I don't mean the crappy food, because like I said, there is no bad food. I mean all the crap. He's going through mental distress and disorders by acting because he's not being trained as an actor. So we can't separate the emotions of real emotions and acting emotions. It's all mungled in together. But we'll see. But mark my words. When Nick decides he wants to have a franchise and start becoming healthy and write books on it and all this and take tests and become a dietitian, which is what's going to happen. Nick's going to try and do dietitian and become, or if he's not doing it now, he will be soon, getting like qualified, and then he's going to go on a diet and he's going to lose all this weight. This is what he's thinking. He's going to lose all his weight and he's going to be big muscle and he's going to be really healthy and fit, and he's going to show people how addictive nature doesn't matter, that you could lose weight by hard work and by this and by that. And trust me when I say it's not going to happen, because he's delusional. Orland is delusional. He blames Nick. It's your fault. You did the mukbangs. You made me fat. No, Nick didn't make you fat. You made yourself fat. You didn't need to eat all that food that Nick ate. You could have stuck to your veganism. Why is it? Are you not strong enough? I mean, he's bad at acting as it is, but what is this with Orland? Is he not strong? What was he? Just follow? Is he sheep? He just follows people? So if Nick was vegan, he'd go back to veganism. Hasn't he got his own personality? It's a bit worrying that if he can't get his own personality and do his own thing, it's a bit scary, that. To know that a human being can't function unless he copies another human being. But that's my intake on all this. Just my opinion. I'm not an expert, nothing like that. I've just seen it time and time again with people who think that they can go from one extreme to another with a dangerous game, and think his body's not only going to just come healthy, but nothing bad's going to come off this, and it's going to be easy for him. And as for Orland, don't even get me started on him. He's just a follower. Whatever Nick does, he'll do. He's a sheep. That's all he is. He hasn't got his own personality. He hasn't got his own sense of humour. He tries to draw off Nick. And if Nick's thin, he's thin. If Nick's fat, he's fat. If Nick's on a diet, he's on a diet. If Nick sleeps with someone, he sleeps with someone. He's mirror copying everyone because he hasn't got his own personality, his own features. There's nothing about him. He's like, if Nick's not there, he's probably doesn't know what to do himself. He's probably lost, and he's waiting and calling Nick. Nick, what do I do? Should I go toilet? Have you been toilet? Oh, you have a bath once a day, a shower? Okay, I'll have a shower once a day. You want to go to bed now? Okay, let's go to bed now. You want to watch a video? Let's watch a video. See what I'm saying, guys? Anyway, better leave you to it. I've chewed off your ears enough. Thanks for joining me and something to eat. I much appreciate it. Catch you in the next one. See you in a while, crocodile.